What is up, man? What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the stream today, guys. We're going to be talking about joy and happiness returning naturally, right? That's going to be the topic of today's stream. I hope you're all doing fantastic. We got Sky first to chat. We got Gamer right behind him. We got Jennifer. What's up, guys? Pandemonium, how are you doing? Welcome, beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you're doing wonderful. I hope you're doing amazing. And if not, I hope you're having a good practice day, right? So what have you guys been up to? It's starting to get warm here, man, but we're still having like cold days thrown in there in between. So like I'm trying to take advantage of the warm days and get like caught up on the garden and everything and like work I need to do to prep for that. And then we'll turn around from a 60-degree day and the next day it'll be like 10, 15, 20 degrees. So it's not quite time yet, but I am taking advantage of the warm days to get some stuff done. So I've been loving it, man. I'm ready to get back into it. Ava, what's up, Ava? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're going to get started in just a second. So on today's stream, this is how the board is going to work. I'm going to switch it up every now and then. For today's stream, the board is going to the latest tipper. So the latest tipper will get their message on the board. It's not going to be the highest current tipper today. It's going to be the latest tipper so that everybody gets a chance to get on the board. So that's how we're going to do the board today. Also, guys, man, my TikTok's growing like crazy. I think we just reached 600 followers, I believe, yesterday on the TikTok, over on the TikToks. So check me out over there, man. I do appreciate all the love and support over there. But with all that being said, yeah, we're going to get this ball rolling in just a minute. All right, give me a second here. Get a few things pulled up in preparation for today's stream. Then we're gonna pop on over to the Discord real quick and annoy everybody with another notification. Speaking of the Discord, I will drop the link for you guys right now. There we go. That should pop up in just a second. There we go. All right. If you guys want to join us over there on the Discord, right there's the link. Just give that a little click. Give that a little tap. All right. How many people we got in here so far? I think we got a fair amount. I think we got an okay amount to go ahead and get started. Let's get this music out of here. All right, there we go. So today, guys, as I said, we are going to be talking about happiness and joy sort of returning naturally. This is a topic that a lot of people are interested in, right? Because when you're under the spell of sensitization, you're going through tired nerves, all that good stuff. What's up, Sanchez? Welcome to the stream. All that good stuff. When you're under the spell of that, right, you're not going to feel a lot of natural happiness. You're not going to feel a lot of natural joy or even interest in life. Right now, this was actually a suggestion for a video that was left over on the Discord, so I'm happy to do it today. So where should we start? Where should we start on this topic? I believe we should start on the fact that you are in fight or flight, right? I believe we should start on the fact that you are in a sensitized nervous system. And when you are in a sensitized nervous system, guys, there's one thing you need to understand. A sensitized nervous system, being in fight or flight, does not leave much room, right? It may on and off, but it does not leave, normally does not leave much room for positive emotion, such as happiness or joy or interest in the outside world. Now, these things do return naturally as a consequence of healing, but you must understand that while you are in the swing of sensitization, you've got a tired nervous system, you are in fight or flight most of the time, there is not much room that's going to be left for a ton of positive emotion, such as happiness, joy, and interest in life. Now, as you move on in your recovery, as you get deeper into your recovery, of course, these things can come and go. You can experience times where you do have more of these natural positive emotions. If you are just starting out, let's say you are severely sensitized, there's a chance you're not going to have any room for these positive emotions, and that is to be expected. That is normal, and that is okay. But as you move forward, naturally as a consequence of healing, these sort of natural positive emotions will start to pop up. Now, they'll probably be on and off, right? Until you get deeper into your recovery, they'll probably be on and off, but they will start to show up and they will start to pop up, sort of on and off, right? Now, one thing I don't want you guys to do, and this is a little bit of a side note, one thing I don't want you guys to do is to latch too hard, right? To latch too hard into these positive little swings, these positive little moments. You can enjoy them, and I want you guys to enjoy them, right? You've earned it. But I don't want you to latch onto them with such a firm grip that you're unwilling to let go of them when anxiety comes back around, right? Like, let's say you've been at recovery for a little while, you experience on and off good days, and then you have to go right back into practice days. I don't want you to latch on to those good days, those positive emotions, with such an iron grip. And that's what I see so many people do, right? Like, so many people watching today's stream, they have these good days, they have these positive emotions start to show back in their life, back up in their life, and they latch onto them so hard that they're unwilling to let them go when it's time to do more work, which means when the anxiety rolls back around, right? Do not latch on so hard that you're unwilling to go back into doing the work. I understand that you are relieved. I understand that you're very excited and happy to experience these positive emotions, but you must always be willing during recovery to go right back into it's time to do the work mindset. You must always be willing to go right back into non-engagement, what we call the accepting inner voice. You must always be willing to allow whatever thoughts and feelings come as a result of the tired nervous system. If you latch on too hard to these good moments, to these good days, let's say you're experiencing good days, if you latch on too hard and you are unwilling to let go and go back into the practice, this is an issue, right? This is an issue, and it's an issue that we need to address. You have to always be willing to shift gears when need be and go right back into the practice mindset. Do not latch on so hard to these positive emotions when they do show up. Now, I know that's a little bit that's a little bit off topic, so we're going to reel it back in. We're going to get to the, back to the point of today, which is, yes, these positive emotions, such as excitement for life, interest in life, they will come back naturally. Some people try to force this. Nothing about recovery is about force, right? The only thing that is forceful about recovery is you may have to force yourself to get up and live. You may have to force yourself to stop engaging and fighting with those thoughts and feelings. But outside of that, there's not much force. When it comes to feeling better, that's not something you can try to force. When it comes to positive emotions returning, that happens naturally as a consequence of healing. It's not something you can try to force, right? So let's put that into example. Let's say, okay, you're using the 2 keys today. You're up, you're living life, right? That's one of the 2 keys. And you're also not engaging and fighting with all your thoughts and feelings. But the entire time, you're kind of telling yourself, what can I do right now to make myself feel happy? I want to feel happy right now. That is not a route that you want to go at all. At all, guys. That is not a route you want to go. Because what is that? That is resistance to the way that you feel. That is trying to force, yourself to feel better. And this is not about trying to force yourself to feel better. This is about using those 2 keys and understanding that feeling better and all these positive emotions will return as a consequence of using the 2 keys. It's not about trying to force them to return. I got to feel happy right now. I got to feel joy right now. I got to feel interest right now. It is not, because you can't do that. You can't force it. It's not going to, not only is it not going to work, but it's going to stress you out even more. So understand, this is not about forcing yourself to feel any sort of way. This is about accepting the way that you feel, using those 2 keys, and letting these positive emotions, such as happiness and joy and interest in the real world, letting these things come back naturally, right? This is what it looks like. As you are dedicating to those 2 keys, you are living your life despite the anxiety, right? And Nova! That one got me a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. Nova, a.k.a. Terry. Terry, thank you so much for the $25 tip, dude. I really appreciate you. What message would you like on the board? Let me know, and I'll put it up there for you. Anyway, let's jump back. That one scared me a little. It was a little bit loud. This is not about force, guys. I'm not sure exactly where we left off, but I'm going to pick it back up. This is not about force, guys. This is about allowing yourself to feel whatever it is you feel and understanding that positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and interest in life will come back as a natural consequence of using the two keys. Again, living, getting up and living your life, showing your brain that the tiger does not exist, and not mentally engaging in a fight with those thoughts and feelings. That is the two keys. As you're doing that, your brain will catch up, man, and these positive emotions, they will return naturally. But you can't force it. You can't force it. This is not about force. You do not base your recovery off of how you feel. You base your recovery off of whether or not you're doing the work. Period. Period. Right? When you get into the territory of trying to control the way that you feel, or when you get into the territory of, I'm using the advice, but why do I feel this way? Then you're not truly using the advice. The advice is to live your life regardless of how you feel and stop mentally engaging in a fight with your thoughts and feelings. That's the advice. End of story. There's no there's no part of the advice that says, okay, use the advice and this should happen. Use the advice and this should happen. Use the advice and this will happen. No, we don't get into any of that because this all happens naturally. Healing happens naturally. Positive emotions returning, interest in the outside world. This all happens naturally. It can't be done by force. Can't be done by force. And if you're trying to force it, you're not truly using that advice, right? You're trying to force it is the same as being up in your head mentally engaging, oh, I don't want to feel this way, how do I feel that way instead, right? That's not the advice at all. So I understand excuse me, how it feels to be there. And just wishing that you could feel happy, wishing that you could have some interest in the outside world, wishing that you could feel joy, but understand that this will come. This will come, but it's not going to be done by force. It's going to be by using the advice. And what that looks like, I'll give you an example of what that looks like. Farby? Farby? I'm not sure if that's how you say that. That doesn't sound right. But thank you for the $10 tip. I will update the tip total in just a second. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. Let me give you an example. Thank you guys so much of what that looks like. Okay? Let's say 6 weeks in, 2 weeks in. I don't even like giving examples of time frames because we don't know. But just for the sake of this example, let's say a month in, you've been really dedicated, right? And then one day you're getting up, you're living your life because that's part of the advice. You're doing your normal thing. You're not mentally engaging in a fight with your thoughts and feelings. You're just using that accepting inner voice and you're doing your own thing. And then all of a sudden, let's say, I don't know, you're cooking dinner. And then all of a sudden you kind of realize, wait a minute, I'm really interested in this. I'm enjoying cooking. I'm enjoying the thought of getting ready to eat this meal. Like I feel pretty good in this moment. That's what it looks like when natural healing starts to occur. That's what it looks like when natural interest and happiness and joy starts to come back. In the little moments where you kind of realize, wait a minute, I'm having a pretty good day. Or wait a minute, I'm actually pretty interested and invested in what's going on in my life right now. This has got my attention. Not so much anxiety, but it might be there, but this has really got my attention at the moment. It comes in the form of those little realizations, right? It's not something you force. It comes in the form of these little everyday moment realizations. How many people in the chat have experienced that? Where you're using the advice, you're up, you're living, you're not mentally fighting with your thoughts and feelings, you're just using that accepting inner voice, and then one day you just kind of have a moment where you realize, wait a minute, I'm having a pretty good day, or wait a minute, I was really into that, I really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, anxiety might still be there, of course, whatever, but you notice that you were more interested in that than you have been, whatever that is, than you have been in a very long time. You make that realization, you're like, that's nice, right? That's nice. So that is realistically what it looks like as natural healing starts to occur. And that's what you need to let naturally happen and unfold instead of trying to force it. Okay, today I'm getting up and I got to live. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to fight with my thoughts and feelings. But man, I hope I feel happiness today, or I hope I feel a ton of joy today. And if I don't, I'm going to be really upset about it. And I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to be trying to figure out what's wrong. And none of that. There's no room for that. In true recovery, true healing, there is no room for obsession about the way that you feel. There's no room for it. You might do it out of habit, but that's where the work comes into play. You need to catch that, use that accepting inner voice instead, and continue living. Okay? So let healing happen naturally. and stop trying to force yourself to feel a certain way. Because as you're living your life, which I understand that might feel forceful, I get it. As you're living your life and as you're not mentally fighting with the thoughts and feelings, you're catching yourself and using non-engagement responses, aka acceptance, healing will happen naturally. But it's not about force. Okay, you guys, and I think that's really probably going to be the main point of today's stream, is that the way you feel is not something that you need to try to force. You just need to use the advice, continue living, even though you feel whatever way you feel, continue living, and stop mentally fighting with those thoughts and feelings. And then kind of naturally, as a result, you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel these normal emotions and joy and interest and happiness return to your life. But if you don't feel that right now, do not try to obsess over that, because you're not going to get anywhere by doing that, right? You're not going to get anywhere by doing that. So I understand. The last thing I'll say is this. I understand that it does feel like you have to force yourself to live because you feel so crappy. I understand. I'll let you use the word force there. And I understand that it feels like you have to force yourself to break the bad habit of mental engagement. I'll let you use the word force there. But I will not let you use the word force, and I'm going to try to force myself to feel a certain way right now, okay? Now, if you're forcing yourself to live and you're forcing yourself to break that bad mental habit of fighting with your thoughts and feelings, and as a result you do start to feel better, great, that's what's going to happen. But in that moment, just use the advice and don't try to force anything outside of the advice. Outside of the advice, we're not going to let the word force slide, right? So that was the point of today's stream, you guys. I hope you enjoy it, man. If you're not experiencing happiness, if you're not experiencing joy or positivity for life, if you're not experiencing interest in life, understand that your objective is to use that advice, the 2 keys: keep living, live as normal, stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings, and as a result, you will start to feel those things in time, okay? So I know it's a little daunting at times, but just keep using that advice, and you will make that progress, okay? Whew, that was a mouthful. I love you guys oh so much. Thank you for watching today's stream. Thank you again for the $25 tip from Terry and the $10 tip from, I'm going to say far. It doesn't sound right. Farby. It doesn't sound right, but it might be right. But thank you for the $10 tip. I appreciate you so much. Let's update the tip goal. We're on an 8-day streak, guys. Thank you for supporting the stream. Obviously, I couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much for the support, helping keep the show on the road. Show them some love in the chat. Terry wants his message to say, let's see. Actually, he left it in chat. Let me scroll up just a bit. Okay, I got you, Terry. So if you want your message on the board, guys, support the stream. I'll put your message on the board. Just let me know what you want it to say. And I'll also put your name along with your tip amount. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate it. There you go, Terry. So let's see who we still got in chat with us today. Roll call. Albert, what's up? Jennifer, what's up? The Beast, how you doing, dude? Hey, Wonder Bro, I'm not healed yet. I still fight some thoughts, fears, but I'm so thankful that I'm enjoying life. I trust the process. Thank you for your advices. You are truly helpful. Thank you so much for the positivity. Thank you for that. I wasn't going to go to the vape shop because I made myself believe I was going to have panic/anxiety attack. Guess what? It never happened. I went in and it didn't happen. Awesome, Beast. Man, I'm so proud of you, dude. I felt an exposure today, and I'm pissed, and that's how I feel, forced. I feel I need to get better soon, right? You're putting so much pressure on your shoulders, right? You're going into your exposures still mentally fighting with all the thoughts and feelings, and you need to practice that non-engagement response. You need to practice your accepting inner voice and allow those thoughts and feelings to be without fighting with them. Use that accepting inner voice. I know it doesn't feel like it's working, but use it and take advantage of your exposures, and stop coming into it with the mindset of fighting every thought and feeling and telling yourself, yeah, this has to go exactly like this, right? And trying to pre-plan it like that. Watching this as I'm having sort of a panic at school. Allow it to be, right? Allow it to be. There's nothing to fight with. There's nothing to obsess about. There's nothing to try to figure out. I'm okay as I realize it's my skullmate trying to be an eccentric electrician. Nice. What's up, everyone? Been a while since I caught a stream. Fire's burning hot today. Told myself, fuck it, I'm going to live how I want. Feels shitty, but DC, that is the winning attitude to have. You realize that there's nothing to figure out. You're just going to let it burn and keep doing your own thing. That is the winning mentality. That is the 2 main keys. That's what it is. You saying it perfect. Okay. Okay. I've never heard that name before. So I thought, does this sound right? I don't know if it sounds right, but I'm glad I'm saying it. Or Farby. Okay. Thank you so much, dude. I'm assuming that's you, right? For the $10 tip. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We are on a 8-day streak. Thank you guys so much for getting us to 8 days. That is awesome. Just felt nauseous and dizzy out of nowhere, sitting and just letting it happen. Love it. Just sucks because there's so much people around me. And you know what? The reality of the situation is they're not worried about, they're not sitting there judging you. They're not, focused on you. They're doing their own thing. So you allow yourself to feel what you feel, understand that it'll pass and it's okay. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing you need to control. Still here. What's up, gamer? How you doing? Tell myself no need to be saved from feelings. Feel it to heal it. I love it, DC. That is the winning attitude. A lot of people in the stream today with the winning attitude. I love to see it. I've been having more positive days than negative lately, and I'm super stoked for that. Jennifer, that is amazing. That is awesome. So much positivity in the chat today. And you know what? If you're not quite there yet, if you don't feel like you're quite there, that's okay too. You keep using the advice. You keep using the practice. You will get there, man. But you gotta have the determination to really use these two keys. You can't just claim to use them. You got to use them. So many people don't even realize they're stuck in the information phase where they're just watching the streams and videos and they're absorbing the information, which that does have its place. I understand. You got to learn it before you can use it. But so many people are just kind of stuck in that phase where they're learning and they've learned, but they're not using. You got to be honest. If you're not honest with yourself, you're not going to get where you want to be, okay? You got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to say, am I still fighting with all these thoughts and feelings mentally, or am I really using that non-engagement, these non-engagement responses, that accepting inner voice like he's telling me to do? You got to answer that question honestly for yourself. Am I really up doing what I need to do, living my life and not fighting with those thoughts and feelings? Yes or no? You got to be honest with yourself, right? So, for example, if you're going to dedicate to this advice starting today, after the stream is over, continue living, doing whatever it is you want to do, right? Not what anxiety wants you to do. And when those thoughts are there and they're causing you a ton of anxiety, and I know it feels like the end of the world, but do not get involved in a mental argument. Just tell yourself, hey, it is what it is. Or tell yourself, hey, that's allowed to be there. Let it burn. Or just tell yourself, you know what? If it happens, it happens. All of these non-engagement responses keep you out of an obsessive fight that then tires the nervous system even more, right? And tells your brain all the wrong things. So you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I really doing what he's telling me to do? Yes or no? If you lie to yourself, you're not going to get where you want to be. But if you become honest with yourself, we're going to make progress. I promise we're going to make progress, man. You're going to get there. Even if you don't feel like you have a shot at this thing, everybody has a shot at this thing. Everybody can heal. Everybody can recover. I don't care how bad off you think you are. I don't care if you've told yourself that you can't do it. I don't care, if you think that this isn't for you. I was once that person. I'm not a superhuman, right? I'm not a superhero. There's nothing about me that says I can do it, but you can't. All the people in the chat who come in here just about every single stream and say, man, I'm feeling so much better. Man, it's really starting to work for me. They're no different from you either. There's nothing different about you. You just got to get honest with yourself. I think that's the only thing you're lacking, is that you just got to get honest with yourself. A lot of people are not very honest with themselves. Am I really doing what I'm told to do? Right? That's the question. Am I really doing what I'm being told to do? That is the big $1 million question. So I don't think it's because anybody, I know that it's not because anybody lacks this or lacks that. Their personality, whatever. I've heard so many things over the years. It's none of that crap. It's none of that crap. The only thing that somebody might lack is the willingness to look in the mirror and say, and be honest, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Right? That's the thing most people lack right there, is the honesty to look themselves in the eyes and say, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really doing it? Or am I just kind of coasting by? Just kind of like half-assed, right? So I'm not trying to, disrespect anybody. I'm just trying to get you to open your eyes, because I care about you enough to want to see you heal. I care about you enough to want to see you live the life you deserve to live, but you're not going to if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, honestly, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? If you're not willing to do that, that's on you. But if you're willing to do that, you'll get where you want to be. I promise. You'll get where you want to be. Let's see, we got Terry helping people in the chat. Terry, thank you for being so supportive and helpful for this community for all these years, dude. I really appreciate it. I had to learn to see the little things as progress, too, not just big exposures. Yes, every day, man, recovery happens one day at a time. The choices and decisions you make today, I did a TikTok on this today, actually, on this topic. The choices and decisions you make today are the only thing that matters towards your recovery, not yesterday and not tomorrow. So one day at a time. I love Wonder Bro because he speaks the truth. The moment you get up and say it is what it is, you start rewiring your brain. You have to lose respect for the symptoms and thoughts. There's healing and discomfort. Albert, I love it, dude. I wish I could pin your comment, but I don't think that's a thing. But if I could, I would. It's the thought that counts, right? I love it. I'm lacking so bad, honestly. At least you're honest. Now we can work with that. We can't work with it if you're not honest. You know, you're pretty much helpless until you decide to be honest. But since you're honest, maybe you can sit yourself down and say, look, I've really got to start using this stuff, man. I really got to start building these better habits. Anyway, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to get a quick drink. We're about halfway through today's stream. Thank you so much for all the support today, all the amazing questions. We're at 35 on an 8-day streak. We are so close to moving on to 9 days. If you'd like to support the stream, I'll put your message up on the board. But anyway, quick break, and then we'll be right back. I guarantee Maddie's going to pop in here and be like, is he gone? Is he gone? I love you guys. I'll be right back. All right. How old are you guys? I'm embarrassed turning 25 this year and dealing with this stuff. Man, come on. That is young. That is so young. I'm 30. I'm almost 30. Let's see. I'm going to scroll just a little bit and see if I missed anything. Question: Why does saying "fuck it" sometimes feel like resistance? Because it's you're breaking an old habit. So when you're breaking an old habit, that's going to feel like you're fighting something, and you are kind of fighting something. You are fighting the habit of fighting. You are fighting the habit of mentally fighting. So technically, you're fighting something, but you're fighting the right thing. You are fighting the habit of fighting. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Wonder Bro, hello, man. What is up, Winning? How you doing, dude? I'm at work, so I'm listening to the live. But I had, where'd it go? Where'd the comment go? Winning mentality. Where'd you go? Live, but I have a question. Feel free to ask that question, man. Feel free. Is this normal? I'll find myself interested in something and I'll feel okay about it. Then I'll wake up in the morning feeling like I'm numb and dead inside with no interest in anything again. Ups and downs, man. How many times have you heard, right? Recovery is not linear. You're going to experience all sorts of things up and down. All sorts of things up and down. One example, last night I was watching Breaking Bad and enjoying it, didn't want to stop. Then I woke up this morning feeling numb and like I didn't have interest in life. You get right back into life. You get right back into life and you understand that these feelings are normal to experience in the state that you're in, but you get right back into life. You don't give them much credit. You don't mentally fight with these thoughts and feelings, and you do it anyway, right? I have so many triggers that really affect my behavior with engaging with people. Social anxiety is pretty bad. If anxiety lessens me socially, should I accept that too? Well, you should put yourself out there. Living life, a part of living life, which is one of the two keys, is putting yourself in normal situations and facing that anxiety. And as you heal, this is going to get better and better and easier for you to do. Right? So yeah, you should accept it, but you should continue to live anyway and not mentally fight with those thoughts and feelings. Hope that makes sense. Scott, what's up, dude? Hi, Chris. My mind has told me today that I could take my life even though I don't want to. It's really effed up. My head, is this just normal intrusive thought? It's really worrying me. If you're really worried, okay. And I have to give a disclaimer. I have no choice but to give a disclaimer here, so don't freak out. I've got no choice but to say this. If you feel like you are in any sort of real danger, please reach out to somebody who can help you. Call somebody, man. Take care of yourself, right? I have to give that disclaimer. Now let's get to the question. Even though I don't want to. So the fact that you say, even though I don't want to, tells me that you've got a thought that you really disagree with, and now you're really worried and freaking out over it. If you fight with that thought, it's probably just going to stress you out, like it will if you fight with any thought. Right? So is it common for people to experience thoughts about self-harm when they're in a sensitized state, and then that causes a bunch of anxiety and feelings? Yes, that is common, right? But again, I have to give that disclaimer. I hope you understand. If you feel like you're in some sort of danger, reach out to somebody, right? I have no choice but to say that. But yes, it is common for people to experience thoughts of self-harm or harm towards others while they're in a sensitized state, and that causes a ton of anxiety, right? But if you get up there and you really start to freak yourself out over that and you fight with that, you just tend to make it stronger. Of course, that is the case with any intrusive thought. It doesn't matter the context. That is the case with any intrusive thought. Right? That's how it is with any and all intrusive thoughts, and that's why the advice is what it is, to not mentally engage and fight with these thoughts and feelings and try to argue with them and disprove them, and continue living, the two main keys. I'd still be shivering in a corner if not for you, Wonder Bro. Respect that. The Beast, thank you so much for that, dude. I really appreciate it. I'm glad the advice is helping you out. Let's see. I'm going to be 40 and been battling this for 15 plus years. Don't feel bad. Well, I'm glad you're here on the channel now, Jennifer. And I think you said earlier you're starting to experience some good days. So it doesn't matter if it's been 15 years. You found the channel, you're starting to work at it, and you're starting to see progress. Keep going. Keep going. My own way of looking at things, thinking about things was way more of the reason I became sensitized, though. Right. Mental engagement. It's every day, though, and it's supposed to be, right? Like up and down, mostly down. There's no stringing together of anything. There's not supposed to be, right? It's disheartening, makes me feel like there's something else wrong. So understanding that recovery is not linear is one of the most basic things you can do. It's one of the most basic pieces of advice, and you're pretty new here, so I understand maybe you don't realize that yet. But recovery is not linear. It's going to look a lot like this. You're going to have ups, downs, probably more downs than ups, and it's going to come and it's going to go, and one day you're going to be feeling one way and the next day you could be feeling a totally different way. That is part of being in a sensitized nervous system, mind, and body. If you stick to the advice and don't start mentally obsessing over these ups and downs, you'll continue to make progress. Absolutely. Let's see. Gamer, I know what you're saying. It takes time, but you will get better. Yes, Rich, absolutely. Let's see. Nothing in life is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. I love it, Sky. I love it. DPDR does suck, and one symptom I hated, but as my anxiety improved, it did go away, and I wasn't even fully recovered yet. I love it, Terry. Thank you for sharing the positivity. The problem is I obsess about it. So you know the problem, and it's up to you. It's up to you to work on it, right? It's up to you. And, that's a realization that you have to come to as well. You have to realize that it is up to you. Let's turn up the music a little bit, shall we? We are in post-stream, right? Let's get some music going. Yeah, man, you have to come to the realization that, hey, I know what my problem is, but now it's up to me to work on it. Nothing is worth obsessing about. You're not going to find any answers. You're only going to find more questions. There's so much power in just not engaging. Absolutely. I mean, that is healing, right? That is healing. That is healing, Sky. You summed it up. Because I thought it will always be in my head. Again, what you give power to has power over you, right? What you give power to has power over you. I sometimes take days to realize I'm obsessing over anxiety. It's a big realization to make because it's a strong habit, man. It's an addiction. You got to break it. The advice is really about breaking that addiction to mentally engaging and fighting with your thoughts and feelings, right? Just continue living. That is the two keys. Wonder Bro, your home studio is looking nice. Thank you, dude. The new camera is amazing. I love it. The quality is so much better. You can see the colors. Everything looks nice. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad you noticed. I wasn't going crazy. I was just overthinking. Exactly. All right, guys, we got about 20 more minutes left in the stream, so get your questions in. If you have any questions, I will do my very best to answer those for you. Make sure you send them on in. We're on an 8-day streak, guys. We are so close to goal today, man. If you want your message on the board, Wonder Bro, feeling healed, but just anxiety in the background. Don't last too long. Don't put a time frame on it. There's no sense in putting a time frame on it, but understand that it is normal to feel a level of anxiety in the background. So if you're feeling better, that's great. Just continue using the advice and let that background anxiety just be there. Eventually, it'll start to fade away. Hello, Wonder Bro. Hello, Raven. How you doing? Welcome. Whew, that was a mouthful. I think we're caught up. I think we've got everybody's comments and questions read. If I missed anybody, man, feel free to just repost your question. Sometimes that happens. I will lose questions in the comments. So I will lose questions in the comments. Just feel free to ask again. Hey people, what is up, Kate? How you doing? Welcome, Kate. Welcome. Hope you're doing fantastic. I think that's everything. I think we're caught up. How are you doing today, Terry? Do you work tonight? Remember, thoughts are harmless. They can't hurt you, but you can choose what you put attention to. Where attention goes, energy flows. Put your attention on life, yes, but allow those thoughts to be there. Don't mentally fight with them. I feel it becomes an addiction because for me, I was trying to fix, aka ruminate on every little thing. It does become an addiction, man. Obsession, which is to engage and mentally fight with those thoughts and feelings, is an addiction. And basically what you're doing with recovery, recovery comes down to breaking. Really, that's what it is. Breaking that strong addiction. Donkey! Today on the board, we're doing latest tipper gets the message. So, Donkey, let me know what message you want on the board. I'll put it on the board for you. With the $5 tip, we're only 10 away from tip goals, guys. We're only 10 away. Thank you so much, Donkey, for the $5 tip. Show some love to the tippers in the chat, man. Without the tippers, we wouldn't be here. They help keep the show on the road. So, thank you guys so much. Donkey says, I missed the rant today, Wonder Bro, but I'm sure it was awesome as usual. Thank you so much for that, dude. I appreciate you. I'm in the same boat, Scott. The thought of self-harm mixed with having no interest in life or doing anything has me obsessing about it. So you see the problem. Right there's the problem. Makes you question if you want to live because it feels real. You see the issue. So you guys are aware of the issue, but now what you do with it is up to you. That's where things like dedication and consistency come into play. You got to say, hey, I want this, right? I want this enough to do the work. I want this enough to do the work. I'm from Scotland. Nice. No, I'm off work today and it's snowing here in Iowa. Snowing? It's like a 60-degree day here. I've already been outside working on the garden, getting ready to leave home and run to Walmart. Hey, man, are you getting some of those mega meals? Yeah? Some of those mega meals, Terry? Thank you again, Terry, for always being so supportive and helpful in the community, always answering questions. You didn't have to stick around after you healed, but you did, and you support me, you support the streams, and you help everybody out, and I really appreciate it, dude. I'm always so grateful for it. Believe me, so grateful. Run towards fear. I love it. It can mess with our perception, but if you're questioning it and worried, it's likely intrusive thought trying to get you stuck in a rumination. Hope that helps. Absolutely agree with you, Raven. And then comes the big difference maker. Are you going to do the work? Once you make that realization, making that realization is only half the battle, right? You then have to do the work. You can realize that this is what this is, or this is what this is, or you can have somebody like myself tell you that, and even if you don't fully believe it, you still have to do the work. You still have to do the work, right? Very important, and it's okay if you experience ups and downs. It's okay if you were doing the work and something new came in and threw you off, and now you got to buckle back down. That's okay. That's normal. That happens. It'll still add up. All of this will add up for you. It will add up for you, even if you're not perfect. And you're not going to be perfect because you're a human being, right? Thank you guys. All the likes, by the way. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure you throw it a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. You know it, brother. Mega meals. I love it, Terry. I love it. I love it. I love it. Exactly, gamer. So now it's time to just do the work, man. It's time to do the work. I know I make it sound so easy, and I know it's not easy. And the reason I don't get on stream and talk about that, and I don't come on here and say, you know, I don't do an hour-long talk on how not easy it is, because that's not helpful. You're going to have to do it one way or the other. So to get on here and talk about, oh, it's not easy, it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but why do we even want to talk about that? Because you're going to have to do it anyway. So you might as well not waste your time talking about how not easy it is. And I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just giving you a reason why I don't talk about, oh, it's not easy, because there's no point in that. We're going to have to do it anyway. So you might as well just try your best, do your best, work on the practice, work on the advice, and you will get there, man. You will get there. You will get there. I just drop a like on these vids. Thank you for the likes, man. I really appreciate it. It does help the channel grow. Anytime you guys like a stream, it helps us grow, and it helps us reach people who might, might need this advice. So I do appreciate it. Semi-luscious donkey. LOL. LOL, Sky. Sky with the LOLs, always. All the intrusive thoughts of not wanting to be around are only real to you guys because you guys are... Well, they come in and they make you feel these feelings because you're in a tired nervous system, and because they make you feel such strong feelings, you give them credit. But you're only giving them credit because they make you feel such strong feelings. Do you see the lie? Do you see the bluff? It's time to stop fighting with them. It's time. Does everybody see the bluff there? Right? Everybody in chat, you see the bluff there? You're giving them so much credit because they make you feel so many strong ways, but they're only making you feel so many strong ways because you're in a tired nervous system. Everybody see what I'm getting at? Everybody see what I'm getting at here? But, you know, like I said, guys, like I said, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. But if you don't do the work afterwards, it's not gonna matter what I tell you. It's not gonna matter what I tell you if you don't do the work, right? The only reason I'm pointing that out is because I want you to understand that it's time, man. It's time. It's time to do the work, guys. I want you to get there, and you can, but you've got to stop mentally fighting with these thoughts and feelings. You have to. You got to stick to those non-engagement responses. Short, sweet, and simple. It is what it is. Let it burn. Whatever you want to tell yourself. Short, sweet, and simple. Non-engagement responses. And live your life, right? You got to do the work after being told these things, or it's not going to matter, right? It's not going to matter. What is up, Mint? For the first time ever, I didn't get a stream notification. What is going on, man? What is up with YouTube today? Mint didn't get a stream notification. Mint! Mint! Speaking of mint, thank you so much, Minty, for the $10 tip. That takes us to tip goal. And by the way, that was a sneaky little tip. That was a sneaky little tip. Terry likes to do that. I'm sorry, Terry. I gotta give you credit, okay? But that is in Mint's honor. That $10 tip was in Mint's honor. That takes us to a 50 into a 9-day streak on the tip goal. Thank you guys so much. You know what? Since that was in Mint's honor, we'll let Mint pick whatever message she wants on the board, and then we'll put it up on the board. So Mint, pick the message that you want up on the board. Chris, did you think a lot of not getting better and if you could cope through the day? I did at first. I did on and off until I understood that I had to stop mentally engaging and fighting. And I wasn't perfect. Even after I learned that, I wasn't perfect. But yeah, when these thoughts come, man, you got to stop trying to justify them. You got to stop trying to fight with them. You got to stop trying to ruminate over them, obsess over them. These are all just different terms for the same thing, which means a fight. You got to use that accepting inner voice instead, right? But yes, I absolutely was in your shoes at one point. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm going to have to keep practicing every day, even if every day is hard. And you'll have better days, man. You've seen it. You've seen that you have better moments, better days. Don't fall for the bluff when it's tough. Just understand that anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on, and do the work, right? And do the work. You'll get there, gamer. You'll absolutely get there, dude. Everybody in chat will get there. Everybody in chat will get there, but you have to do it, man. You have to do it. We keep coming back to that because it's so important, guys. You can learn this information, but if you're not using it, it's not going to do you much good. So many people learn the information, but it's not doing them much good because they're not using it, right? And they're not. You got to use it. And for the people who use it, they come in the chat and they talk about, hey, getting better. I'm getting better, right? That's going to be you too. Which Mint? You Mint. You Mint. Instant Mint. Since Terry's $10 was in your name, in your honor, I'll let you pick the message you want on the board here. So just let me know, Mint. Let me know what you want up on the board. All right, guys, we got about 10 minutes left in the stream, so if you've got any questions, now is your time to ask them. If you haven't liked the stream already, please make sure you do so. Tap that like. I appreciate it. I recovered once before and COVID set me back bad style, but I'm back up and ready for the challenge. I love the attitude, man. I love the mindset, beast. You're not gonna be perfect, but keep working at it. So you understand that feeling of having no interest in life or wanting to do anything or feel like you can't go on and living like this every day. Dude, I pissed in bottles at one point. Shit in buckets. So yeah, I understand the feeling of having no interest in life or wanting to do anything or feel like you can't go on living, right? I understand that feeling a little bit too well. But I'm here to tell you, you can get up today and do what needs to be done. You can get up today and start using that advice, right? No matter how bad you feel, you are capable. And I know it may not feel like you're capable, but you are capable. And the reason I want to say that I can relate to that a little bit too much is because I want you to understand that's normal. I want you to understand that just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you haven't been making progress, because you have. I want you to understand the reason I tell people just how bad off I was at one point is because I want you to understand that there's no such thing as I can't come back from this. That doesn't exist, man. It just comes down to if you're willing to do it or not. It just comes down if you're willing to practice that non-engagement inner voice and live your life, right? Thank you, Terry. Terry Fan Club. Absolutely. Terry Fan Club, man. Terry Fan Club. But yeah, guys, I mean, I don't want anyone thinking you can't come back from it, right? It's all about using that advice, right? So many people go wrong because they say, okay, so this guy can relate to me, and then I tell them what to do and they don't do it. That's the problem. That is the problem. And the only reason I'm making that known is because knowledge without action, you're not going to get anywhere. So if you come on here and I tell you, yeah, I've been there, and I explain it to you and blah, blah, blah. But when this stream goes off, if you're still fighting mentally with every thought and feeling, you're not using that accepting inner voice and living your life, then it's no good. Everything you heard today on today's stream makes no difference. It'll make zero difference in your life if you don't take the action after the stream goes off, right? If this stream goes off and you're still fighting with every thought and feeling and whatnot, then it's not going to make any difference what I told you in today's stream. It's just not. It's going to make zero difference. So I keep bringing that up because it's so important, man. You've got to actually start practicing those non-engagement responses. You know, it is what it is. Let it burn. Fuck it. You know, whatever you want to tell yourself instead of fighting with those thoughts and feelings, and live your life. If you continue to fight with these thoughts and feelings even after the stream goes off, then everything you heard on the stream today, useless. Pointless. Makes no difference. Makes no difference, right? We need Terry Fan Club t-shirts. I agree. If it helps, just know y'all will not die or go crazy. You will not die or go crazy. Absolutely not. Just keep taking action, letting more time pass. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, you guys, we're going to start winding this one down here. I'm very happy with today's stream, man. I'm very happy with today's stream. Thank you guys for all the positivity, for all the support. Chris, it worries me if I think I'm not using the keys properly, if I can't do it. Your only thing, right? The only thing you need to remember is ask yourself the question. It's very simple. Ask yourself the question, am I fighting with that thought? If the answer is yes, work on not fighting with that thought. Work on just telling yourself it is what it is and living your life. That's it. That's it. That's it. I know I make it sound so simple, but you need to keep it simple instead of overcomplicating it. Am I fighting with that thought about, oh, this might happen or I might do this? If you are fighting with it, which means you're trying to argue with it, then yeah, we need to put a stop to that, right? So you ask yourself that question. Am I fighting with my thoughts and feelings? And if the answer to that question is yes, then we can work on that. We can work on that. So I'm going to drop the Discord link. Scott and anybody else in chat who wants to join us over on Discord, man, feel free to join us. It's getting ready to pop up in just a second. Hopefully it works. But yeah, feel free to join us over there. Scott or anybody else who wants to join us, man. Join us. All right, you guys. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for today's stream. Wonder Bros, stay dope. Appreciate you, Albert. Love you, dude. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for the positivity. Thank you for all the likes. That is going to be it for today's stream. You guys are amazing. Not in the Discord. How do I get on it? I'm going to keep posting that link. So there's a link popping up in chat with the Discord. All you got to do is tap on it, man. It'll get you through it. It'll take you through the process. It's pretty easy to join. You just need to make an account. So right there it is again. You can also find the Discord link in most of the descriptions of my videos. I don't know if it's a valid link or not, though. So let me, just in case, because I don't want to lie to nobody, just in case, let me grab a fresh link. Hopefully it works. Can I also get like a moderator in chat to drop a link to the Discord just in case mine doesn't work? Can somebody that's already in the Discord drop another Discord link? So I'm going to leave the stream going, man. I'm going to leave the stream going just for a minute to let you guys get that link, get into the Discord. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you oh so much. Thank you for all the likes. If you haven't liked yet, now's your only opportunity to do so. I will see you soon. You're amazing. You're awesome. You will heal. This is temporary. Stop fighting. I love you. Stay awesome.